All right, everybody, let's do this. I am ready to see just what exactly happens with this team. On paper, this team should be competing for a President's Trophy. You could argue the goaltending might let us down a little bit. But also, as you know, paying for goaltending in this game is, it's a risk. It's a risk. But I'm excited. Again, the AHL team consistently winning 50 to 60 games every year. They should do more of the same this year as well. Although the one thing I was going to do, and I've meant to do this for a while, number one, our record book, but we're also going to take a look around the league and see what other teams look like, for those who care to know. Also, really quickly too, then, for the hell of it, I'll look at franchise records. I'll look at franchise records as well. Here, I'll go off of the... Actually, I'll move the webcam up a little bit. I'm just going to name off, like, the leading scorer. If you want to see more, I mean, again, the video will be out eventually. You could always check it out on VOD. But all-time leading scorer for the Ducks now, of course, is Ryan Getzlaf. No surprise. For the Coyotes, it's still Shane Doan. Shout out to Clayton Keller, who's 400 points away. For the Bruins, it's still Ray Bourque. No surprise there. No real changes to the records either. Anaheim, you had John Gibson take the lead for goalie wins. And for the Coyotes, there's been no change there. Same for Boston, no change to their all-time stats. Buffalo, no change to their all-time stats. Jack Eichel, though, is still there for his 12th season. Calgary has Backlund take the lead. 18 seasons now for Mikael Backlund on the team, which is outrageous. Carolina, no record changes for them at this time. Slavin, though, is on his 12th season with the team. Chicago, Patrick Kane is now the all-time leading scorer, all-time assists, all-time games played, and all-time goal leader, with a Rey Mysterio approved, Booyaka Booyaka 619. DeBrincat's at 316, Stone Cold approved for the current record. Colorado, no changes to any of their all-time team records. Columbus has Boone Jenner, of course, the new captain of the team, all-time season leader there. Voracek's now the all-time assist leader. Jenner, the games played leader. Fair enough. Dallas, no changes to their records at all. Tyler Seguin still has a way to go to catch Mike Modano. For Detroit, obviously no changes to their record, but Tyler Bertuzzi is the longest tenured member of that team by far. Edmonton, you have Ryan Nugent Hopkins, now the all-time leader in games played for the Oilers. McDavid, over 1,000 points, still 600 shy of Gretzky, but Nuge is in his 15th season, so he's gonna tie Kevin Lowe at this stage. For the Florida Panthers, Jonathan Huberdeau is the man. All-time point leader, most games played, the assist leader. Barkov, though, is the goal-scoring leader at this stage. For the LA Kings, Dustin Brown leading the way in seasons. Drew Doughty's going to pass him this year, though. Anze Kopitar is the all-time assist leader, Doughty the all-time games played leader, and Jonathan Quick obviously leads for goalie wins and shutouts. For the Minnesota Wild, Jared Spurgeon now 16 seasons, going into season number 17. Spurgeon is the, obviously, games played leader. Kirill Kaprizov leaves the Minnesota Wild and goes to Calgary as the team's all-time leading scorer with 227 goals. For Montreal, unsurprisingly, only one change, and that is Carey Price. Now the all-time winningest goaltender in Habs history. The new goalie on their team, Caden Primo, he has 18. Not the new goalie, but obviously potentially the new starter. Nashville, Roman Josi is now the point leader, the assist leader. The all-time games played leader, David Legwand still has the goals. New Jersey, no changes there. Elias, Brodeur, Danico. That's all we see. The Islanders, Josh Bailey. That was the most games played in team history. The Rangers, no changes there. Still a lot of Rod Gilbert and Henrik Lundqvist. The Sens, still all the same, basically. Philadelphia, Claude Giroux, now played the most seasons, also played the most games in a Flyers uniform. Only changes for Philly. For Pittsburgh, Crosby played 20 seasons. most amount of games as well. Malkin with the most penalty minutes in team history. But obviously Lemieux, untouchable. For the Sharks, still a lot of Marlowe and Thornton. And Jeff Odgers, former captain, as Sin learned recently on the Toogies Take podcast. Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube. And then for us, so our all-time leading scorer is Matthew Tkachuk with 293 points. Yamamoto's in Season 5. Shane Wright's the all-time assist leader. Yamamoto has, of course, the most games played. Jamie Alexiak still has the most penalty minutes. Hellebuck is our all-time winningest goaltender. And our all-time goal scorer is also Matthew Tkachuk. There we go. Easy for me to say. For the Blues, still a lot of Bernie Federico. No real changes there, aside from Jordan Binnington being essentially the top goaltender in team history. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, Stamkos, the all-time goal scorer, the all-time point leader, the most seasons. Hedman has the most assists. Vasilevsky, top goaltender in club history. For the Maple Leafs, no changes aside from Austin Matthews, the team's all-time leading goal scorer with 444. For the Vancouver Canucks, no changes. Still dominated by the Sedins and Roberto Luongo. Of course, Gino Wojcik up there for penalty minutes. For the Golden Knights, William Karlsson is the all-time point leader. Most games played, most seasons. Shea Theodore has the assists. Mark Stone, the penalty minutes. Marchessault, the goals. And you have Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner, respectively, for shutouts and wins. So, I guess Robin Lehner didn't get many shutouts once Marc-Andre Fleury left. For the Washington Capitals, you already knew it. Ovi, 990 goals. He is the all-time point leader. Most games played in seasons. Backstrom has the assist record for the team. And for the Winnipeg Jets, goal scorer Mike Scheifele, top goalie, obviously Connor Hellebuck. And then it's Blake Wheeler with points and assists. Scheifele, though, has the most seasons. And around the NHL, I think it's still broken. But Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, Chara, now in the top 3 for games played. For goalie games played, Fleury is second, Price is now fourth. Most goals, of course, it's that one is broken. We know it's Ovechkin. So it's a shame that these all-time record book things are broken. At least these ones, which is the most EA thing of all time. And I can't defend it, so I won't even try. The hell do I care? It's not like I work there. Don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by saying, how the fuck is that still broken? But how the fuck is that still broken? I don't know how. Goodness. Anyway, also, as we were going to do, we'll take a look at the teams. So, the Anaheim Ducks at this stage, Gensel, Trevor Zegras as the 92, did not develop anything. They have Ricard Raquel, Comtois, Connor Geeky, Timo Meyer, Ridley Gregg, Mason McTavish, Anthony Duclair, Cole Perfetti, Isaac Lundstrom, Max Jones. That's a hell of a team. Their defense is Larson, and now an 88 Drysdale, Grizzlick Walker, McNabb, and Joey Keane. Their goalies, John Gibson and Hunter Jones. And again, unfortunately, you can't believe as to whether or not they actually have those X factors or not, because it's glitch. You turn Fog of War off, and it's like, LOL. Doesn't matter. Arizona has Genther, Hosang Stevenson. Jesus. Keller, Hayton, Balsers, Jansen, Sorella, Sherwood, Ernie, Fraser Minton from Minton's Minton Company, and Brett Connolly. The defense, Bohinski, Soderstrom, Hayek, Sanheim, Dunn, and Crotty. Vince Dunn, how the mighty have fallen. Their goalie is Malcolm Subban. Eric Comrie. Frederick Camp, Maradi as scratches. The Boston Bruins still have Taylor Hall. They have Dylan Larkin as top center. Travis Konechny, Ilya Mikheyev, Tyson Jost, Anthony Mantha, Kerfoot, McLeod, McGinn, Dalcal, Barlage, and Schwint. That is a completely unrecognizable team outside of Taylor Hall. The defense is Vakanainen and McAvoy, only an 88. Get bent, EA. Dahan, Carlos, Zadorov, and Merkley. I would not root for this team. Except they have Carey Price and Ian Scott, which is hilarious. Jesus. Yeah, these rosters are unrecognizable, man. Buffalo has Rosen, Eichel, Ehlers, Burakovsky, Middlestat, Toffoli, Wyatt Johnston, Levis, the Levis, and Simone. Thomas Tatar is there. Dahlin's a 92 with Hall, Fowler, Whitecloud, Krug, Cousins. Okay, we'll just trust that. Ukko Pekka-Luukkonen is their goalie with Ottinger. It's because John Cross is hurt. It's a first-round pick of theirs. Jack Quinn never really made it. Buffalo, stunting the development of another young player. Carolina has Teravainen, Habsheed, Svechnikov, Small Beer Fridge, Petrov, and Natchez, Zaka, Kotkaniemi, and Gunler. D'Angelo's a forward with Duchesne and Nylander. What the hell? Oh, okay, I'm tapping out. If there's a player you want to know about, let me know. But man, those rosters, those lines are a mess. Let's just get down to business. Those lines are a mess. What's the situation with roster editing? We have finished the first batch, the first phase of the junior leagues, which is very, very nice, and I'm very, very happy about it. As Kasparaitis suffers a concussion, he'll be out for less than a week. That's the NHL we all know and love. Good Lord. Let's get him back in there again. How awesome is it that we have Axel Anderson as a healthy scratch, and he has been phenomenal for us over the last couple of years. Curious as to what New Jersey turned into. That's the thing. I got a feeling the majority of these teams are completely unrecognizable at this point. That's the problem. All right, and so far this team's not exactly off to a flying start, and I can't really say I'm surprised. Curtis Douglas goes down for about a week. Concussion issues? You'll only be out a week. Rub some dirt on it, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, 11-8-3, and that's still the best, second best record in the division. Excuse me. And here to answer those specific questions, Vancouver's goalie is Sergei Bobrovsky with Michael DiPietro. And just for Reaver here in New Jersey, has Blackwood and net still. Tavares, Hischier, Roslovic, Hughes, Zhilkin, Holtz, Kaloran, Bennett, Athens, CU, Coyle, Boakfist, Nolan, Foote. The defense is Smith, Hamilton, Clay, Falk, Gostisbehere, Niku. And yeah, again, you knew the goaltending with Blackwood. So yeah, these rosters are crazy, the amount of turnover. It's absolutely nuts. With that, before simming, let's take a look at our team. See if we can get a little bit of insight as to why we're struggling out of the gates. Tkachuk has 20 points in 22 games. Not bad. Last year's goal-scoring tally looks like it could have been a fluke, though. Looks like it could have been a fluke. Shane Wright has 25 points in 22 games, which is great. And Billy Sutton was our leading scorer, I do believe, with 27 points in 22 games. So the top line doing well. Panarin has 16 points in 22 games, but he's a -8. As Olesen has 16 points, Yamamoto with 18. So, I mean, that second line struggled a little bit defensively. I'm going to swap Panarin and Yamamoto. Third line. Okay, so did I get jebaited by Pittsburgh? 4 points in 22 games. He has 40 penalty minutes. I feel like I got jebaited by Pittsburgh. This guy has 85 discipline, but case in point, the game does not give a shit. Okay. Centered by McMichael, who has just 9 points in those 22 games. Actually not that bad. And only 8 points for Klim Kostin. So the middle six is struggling a little bit. Then the fourth line, Tanev just 4 points and a -3. Douglas is 6 points. Trotter with 2. How is it? How is it, chat? That my two-way forward has 40 penalty minutes in 22 games, but my enforcer has no penalty minutes in 22 games. Bullshit. For the defense, Chychrun, only 6 points, a -1. I got a feeling we're not getting good goaltending. Brandstrom has 17 points. Kasparaitis with 9. +5 for Chernak, and that third pair has not worked so far. Damn. Have them swap sides and see if that works, because they're +5 for God's sake. Holden has a 903, as does Wallstead. Yeah, that explains a decent amount. We'll stay to the path here. How many creative players am I going to make? Too goddamn many. Again, like, I know the shot thing is still there, but all you got to do is just bump down, for the most part, bump down the total amount of shots, and it'll kind of balance itself out, is what I had discovered previously. So there's a way to neutralize the computer shot tendency thing. It's something I'm willing to deal with. It doesn't really bother me that much. How many X Factors do you want? Yes. Pretty much, yeah. Yazev's going to be out until February. Chris, hello. Good morning. How are you? I hope you are well. So we're still trailing behind the Oilers, but looking okay. Kasparaitis suffers another concussion. That kid can't catch a break. Can catch a concussion, though. We're not exactly competing for the President's Trophy, but we're still a good team. Chuck's doing good. Shane Wright's been fantastic. What players are you going to make? Yes. All of them. Sutton's also tremendous. 28 points for Yamamoto, not bad. 25 for Olesen and Panarin on 34. Schneider on 10 points and 67 penalty minutes. 18 points for McMichael. 14 for Costin. I'm going to keep McMichael in there. I mean, he's on about a 40-point pace. Like, that's good. And then Tanev, unfortunately, as we kind of see, that fourth line has gotten us no offense whatsoever. Just nothing. They're barely playing, though. But even then, to be barely playing and have that bad of 5-on-5 numbers, it's really concerning. And McDonald and Medvedev don't appear to be as bad. Comes down to the fact that we're not exactly getting phenomenal goaltending. But we kind of knew that was coming. Catcher, I will agree. We'll check his fighting tendency. But to be honest, I don't think I'm going to edit it. I think we'll deal with it. You know. But I imagine it's on often. Old Zachy Schneids. Yeah, it's on often. That explains it. What's our enforcers, though? That's the question. What's Trotter's fighting set to? Also, he's got a Tash. Often as well. Go figure. What's the Tash looking like for Trotter? Oh, yeah. Looks like fucking Laserbeam, the YouTuber. Jesus. Anyway. Goddamn. I hate to say it, that more grit line on the fourth line, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. Which could mean bring in like a veteran skill line, but man, even then it's a bit shaky. We don't want to call up Ho and have him waste his talents there, and Eberle's probably better suited. I think we're just going to deal with it, man. We're just going to deal with it. Our team is set up well. Let's live and die by it. Let's live and die by it. At least for now. We'll see if I change my tune rather quickly, because there's a good chance that I will. As Eric Chernak has hurt his neck. That's unfortunate. That is highly unfortunate. Nothing like a hurt neck. Did my phone die? Cool, my phone is dead. That sucks. Should I have an extra charger in here? I do not. Love it. Love it. We'll worry about that later. So, Schwartz, you've been playing defense. At least you played defense for a game. Hello, Mr. Webster. How are you? we're doing good. We got some editing done. The Kraken are looking solid, but not exactly performing to that standard. You know how it is. Hardly a bad record, though. Chikrin hurts his shoulder. Man, we are getting destroyed by injuries right now. And Matt, hello. No franchise-level player in this draft again, by the way. It's 2 years in a row without one. We did get Oshie. There was also Letton in there, who was a medium elite towards the bottom. Which is interesting, because he wasn't top 5. Let's get Anderson out of there for Chikrin. I'm hopeful that this team underperforming... Oh my god, Kasperitis is just... He's going to have to retire at the end of this year. That's his second concussion of the season. Thank god this game doesn't have a system for like players' long-term health. He'd have to retire right now. Although that would be really cool. 2K has it. Just throwing that out there. Kasperitis has been good when he's played too. It's taken him a little bit to get there to a useful stage, but... Wallstead has an 895, Holden has a 903. End of the day, we're still not getting good goaltending. But, okay, we also got to break up that third pairing when they're healthy. I mean, point production-wise, they're solid, but 5-on-5, man, it's just not there. It's just not. Honestly, it might be Chikrin to swap out. All right, this is looking shitty. Yeah, we need to wait for Kasperitis to come back. Yeah, we got to make changes. Third line has figured it out a little bit. That second line has some concerning aspects, like Panarin being a -11 is puzzling. We got to swap out. We got to swap out that fourth line. We're also going to have to figure out what's going on defense, as Axel Anderson is also now hurt. That's what's going on. And then, God, you could maybe debate the goaltending, but let's get Schwartz out of there for Kasperitis. We gotta break up McDonald and Medvedev. Neither are good for the second pair. +5, but I don't really want that +1. See, unfortunately, Chikrin is going to have to go down to the third pair. But that gives us a stud first pair. And a lot of depth, man. Like, that's the best way to view it. We get a lot of depth. Medvedev is just a pure defensive defenseman. Like, look at that right side, though. McDonald, Chernak, Chikrin, for God's sakes. Like, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. Left side's a bit weak, but it can definitely be carried. So we'll try that out. Both of our goaltenders are sub 900 right now. We might have to make a trade. It might not be time for the youth just yet. And then, again, we're getting some production from that fourth line now. Like, Douglas will probably hit 20 points, but damn that plus-minus, man. Swap Trotter and Tanev. See if that will maybe get him going. But as we move towards the deadline, which is on March 7th, Justice Ho also suffers a concussion. Isaiah McDonald on defense hurts his groin. He'll be out for a week. This is crazy. Like, we are getting absolutely destroyed by injuries this year compared to what we've seen in the other seasons. I haven't changed anything with the sliders. As bizarre as that is, I don't really know how to explain what's going on with the injuries this year. It doesn't make sense. Shane Wright will be out until March 1st. That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. That means Jade Schwartz was rocking top line center, but he did pretty well. His groin. Man gets hit with football in groin. Doink. We are the top team in our division, despite just a 34-20-7 record. Sutton has 74 points in 61 games. Goaltending. It's still disappointing. Wallstead is waiver eligible. If we were to get a goaltender, he'd have to be probably a healthy scratch for the rest of the year, or we'd have to send Holden down to the AHL because he's the only one that could clear. Meanwhile, Juha Markkanen is destroying the AHL. My God. Could have our goalie right there. We do have a lot of goalies. Why bring in a veteran? We'd have to trade a goalie. Defensively as well. The only thing that makes sense is maybe bring in reinforcements for the fourth line. That's it. Because unfortunately that fourth line's been pretty tragic together in terms of 5-on-5 play. Like, they put up some points, but they also surrender a lot of points. Everywhere else we're fine. Everywhere else we're fine. Honestly, come playoff time, Justice Ho, Bernard Facette, I think it might be time to unleash those guys in the playoffs. Maybe for now we leave that as is, right? Let them play top line minutes in the AHL, but then come playoff time, I think we go for it. And we call them up to the fourth line and give them that bit of time. I really just want to trust who we already have on the team, you know? For better or worse. So it brings us to the deadline. There would have to be a major player available for me to do something here. Top players are Elias Lindholm, Mika Zibanejad, Rupe Hintz, Jordan Kyrou, Dylan Dubé, Andrew Kopp, Mark Stone, 34 years old. His value is pretty far down. Tyler Seguin, Kane, Hampus Lindholm, Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty's finally at the end of that massive contract. Finally, Drew Doughty's there. We do have a trade. Involves Christian Vesalainen. I think I'm just keeping it, man. I think I'm keeping this team together. We don't have our first round pick this year to give up. We do have goalies in the system we could give up. Those two medium elites need to be weaponized sooner rather than later because they're not ever really going to make the team. Our defense is absolutely stacked. There's not a single one of them that I'd want to take out of the lineup. I mean, if we had to, Axel Anderson's there to play, even though he's pissed. Because he's in a depth role this year, but that also leaves Justin Barron, Charlie DeRoche. Like, there's options. We should have the talent within this team to win. We absolutely should. But I also can't help but think one more big-time trade. But, man, who the hell would we even push down? I would have to... If we get one more guy for the third line, we drop Connor McMichael down to the fourth line. McMichael plays with Ho and Facette in the playoffs. We have our move. The problem is we're going for a rental. We are going for a rental. Right. Alright, let's find this on our own instead of who's out there. Because I need to look at trade values all at once. So if we use those two goalies, we're looking pretty good. I need a rental of a forward that can push Connor McMichael down the lineup. Obviously, like, Calgary is in full fire sale mode right now. We'll probably go back to them. Major Kopp, Sagan. I mean, Calgary and Dallas are both really blowing it up here. Drew Doughty's out there. It'd be hilarious to get Drew Doughty. I don't know how his trade value is still what it is when he makes $11 million. I guess some cap issue or some issues going on in regards to morale. Because if Velardi's a second liner, he's pissed. Gabriel Velardi is like the guy to get. If he's a second liner and he's that cheap, he's the guy to get. He's not exactly as high value as I was hoping, but we could get draft picks back to help push that through. I'd have too many players if that were to go through, so I would have to add some rando defenseman, because I definitely have too many defensemen signed. Let's add Yanni Hakanpää. Yeah, no way that was going through. But do I have anybody else in terms of good value but never going to make it? Hackers is definitely going to make it. Tan will make it. Hickett's. Hatonen probably won't make it. He's 19, a 4th round pick. If we could use Juha here. Still rejected. And no problem trying to maximize this value to make up ground for some draft picks. I thought there was going to be a trade there involving the Kings. That would have sucked. Mink as a low elite is also likely to not make it. Done deal. So we'll give up these 4 prospects who aren't going to make it, and Yanni Hakanpää. We get Gabe Velardi, who, I mean, right now is in a morale crisis. He's much better than he looks. 2 seconds, 2/3. We will pull the trigger on that deal. And with that, we're out. That's all we needed. That is all we needed. Jonathan Drouin and Logan Brown to Vancouver. That was the only other big trade it alerted me about. So, Velardi's actually an 84, which is nice. He'll be absolutely perfect for that 3rd line, or for the 4th line with the younger guys. I mean, again, McMichael's so good. I trust him to help the younger guys on the 4th line come playoff time. Let's be honest. Ben Schroeder's got to go. I just don't know if I can get away with Velardi being on the 4th line until the end of the season. He might get pissed. But he will have Schneider and Kostin next to him in the playoffs, so he can get the hell over it. I guess Velardi's going to have to play the wing with Douglas and Tanev. I'm going to give Velardi PK time as well. Frequency 7. One take. Thank you for that lovely, lovely sub. I do appreciate that. Before I lose my train of thought, we give Velardi PK time. Hopefully keep him happy. Let's get to the playoffs. Set up this team. And hope that this all comes up Millhouse here. Because I don't know if it will. I'm being a little bit risky. Being just a little bit risky with Velardi. But it was more about the draft picks than it was him and parking him on the 4th line. He can't really be any more unhappy than he was in LA, can he? I don't think he can be, as we lose 3 in a row. Still the top team in the division. 41, 26, and 8. We have a 5-point lead on the Oilers, but they have 3 games at hand. Loka, hello. And again, the frequency, thank you very, very much for that sub. Let's see. Anaheim. Can we beat them? Yes. We clinch a playoff spot again. Nashville. We win 3-0. Things are looking up. The Oilers are now 2 points back. They have a game at hand, so we need to beat Arizona. And we don't. That's how to blow a points lead. 2 points ahead of Edmonton with a game at hand. We play LA. Our city, our home. We lose 4-2. We're going to choke away this division title. Yep, the Oilers have jumped us now. Can we beat Colorado as to not choke this away? Boys, come on. We've lost 3 out of our, or we've only won 3 out of our last 10. We play Chicago. That puts us back on top. As long as we beat Minnesota, we're the top team in the division. $44, 30, and 8. That is good for second in the Pacific Division. We will play Calgary. We were that close to a Battle of Alberta. We absolutely choked down the stretch. That's unfortunate. Had it not been... Man, we would have played Colorado instead. Just 83 points. We would have played Colorado instead. Now, instead, we say in the Pacific, if we beat Calgary, we're going to have to play Edmonton, more than likely. Oh, yeah, we did have a +2 goal differential as well, you're not wrong, which is not good. In the Atlantic, it was Tampa, Buffalo, Toronto, Montreal, and Florida making the playoffs. In the Metro, you had Columbus, New Jersey, and Carolina. And then, of course, you would have seen the Central already. It's Arizona, Chicago, Minnesota, and Colorado. So, throughout the league, we were top 10. Literally in 10th. Which isn't that bad. Best team in the league was Tampa. Worst team in the league, the Philadelphia Flyers. Ooh, Pennsylvania in shambles. Oof. Rough times in PA. Goals for per game. We had a top 10 offense at a 3.35. But obviously the goals against average was pretty shit. Top 10 in terms of goals against average. So, great offense, abysmal defense. Our power play was somewhere in the middle. 19%, closer to the top. Our PK was at 81.1%. So, mid-table special teams, god-awful goaltending, decent offense. That sums it up pretty well. If we look at the team, Billy Sutton led the way with 94 points in 82 games. That is a new career high for him in his 4th season. Damn good. Shane Wright, 84 points. Only missed 3 games on the year. That is also a new career high in terms of points. And Matthew Tkachuk, he didn't hit 46 this year, was it? But he did hit 30 for the 3rd year in a row. Now up to 305 career goals. Artemi Panarin also hit 30. Plus minus is a little bit concerning. But 67 points in 30 games for the 35-year-old. Calle Olesen, as a 19-year-old, puts up 61 points. The defense is concerning, though, in terms of him being with Panarin and Kyle Yamamoto, who also hit 20 goals. But again, the defensive abilities of that line, I'm a bit worried about. Connor McMichael hit 40 points, and I'm going to drop him to the 4th goddamn line for the playoffs. Clint Costin with 33 points. He will be traded. Overpaid for him for sure. Velardi finished with 32 points. He had 8 points in 18 games. That's not bad, seeing as he finished on the 4th line. Zach Schneider, 27 points, 136 penalty minutes. Curtis Douglas with 19 points, 17 for Tanev, 4 points for Trotter. Schwartz with 4 points in 8 appearances. On the defensive side, Brandstrom was phenomenal, 58 points, 31 for Isaiah McDonald, 19 for Chikrin, 18 for Kasparaitis. 15 for Medvedev, 15 for Chernak. Concerning numbers for Medvedev, the rookie. And in goal, you expected it. It's a 900 save percentage for Holden, an 894 for Wallstead. If these guys can't get it done, we have other goalies we can call up too. But we turned it over to the youth this year and did not pay immediate dividends, did it? So Connor McDavid led the league in points. Svechnikov, Forsberg, Marchand, Laine and company also up there. Cole Sillinger was up there. Goal scoring king was Brad Marchand at 38 years old. He scored 59 goals. Suck it, everybody. Granted, he did it for Chicago, so how happy can I be? The assist leader was Braden Point with 81. The fight leader was asked about. And the fight leader was Schneider with 20, tied with Jonathan Miller of Chicago. That's all he does is fight. Forward the defense, 72 points. That's likely a Norris Trophy for Quinn Hughes. Outdueling Cale Makar and Adam Fox. Goal scoring king was Moritz Seider. Say goodbye to OEL. For the goalies, the winningest was Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. The save percentage king was Connor Hellebuck once we moved on from him. Joke's on me, I guess. Bassey and Luukkonen were up there. Carey Price was pretty damn good for Boston. Bassey was also the shutout leader. And in the rookie race, Spike Woodworth is likely to win the Calder. It could go to Linden. But shout out to Spike Woodworth. What a hell of a name. So that is the season. In the books. In the books. We need to debate what to do with the team, because we know we're playing Calgary in round number 1. But as was originally planned, I think changes need to be made. Also, Axel Anderson somehow got sent down, and I have no idea how. Douglas, Trotter, Tanev. It's not quite what I had in mind for the fourth line. But we are going to call up Ho and Fiset. We could play Schwartz, but we're not going to. We'll leave him as our depth option. But I said we were going to call up the young guys and give them a chance, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So there'll be Fiset, Ho, and McMichael. And they do get good chemistry as well. So we'll see what McMichael can do. Next to two of our best young prospects who we're really looking to see if they can take a step up. We will have Velardi with Schneider and Costin. And then Kachuk will be on that top line, I think. I mean, I know we get a +5 if Olison's there instead. The problem is if we do that, we don't have a natural centerman. It's got to be either Wright, Sutton, or Olison at center. And we know that this line, as it stands, has defensive issues. But if we break up Wright and Sutton, which is a huge risk, could go Panarin, Sutton, Olison, Kachuk, Wright, Yamamoto. It's a big risk to break up that top line, but I'm just so worried about the defensive ability of Panarin, Olison, Yamamoto that I think it's worth it, if I'm being honest. Because it's not as if we were in tremendous shape heading into the playoffs, and Billy Sutton's got good enough faceoffs to win. It's a very versatile lineup, and we should be fine, I think is what I'm saying. I love Axel Anderson, but again, we're going with Kasparaitis. We know that Medvedev and McDonald cannot play on the same pair. Chernak has to be a second pair guy. Chychrun or Brandstrom have to be first or third. The only other second pair guy is Kasparaitis. So again, we'll stick with it. We'll go McDonald and Brandstrom. What year are you in? Top right corner. We are in 2027. That's the team, man. That is the team that we are going to trust to beat Calgary in round 1. Big risk, like I said, calling up the young guys. We got 2 +5s on the power play. And we're still going to go with Israel Holden to be the guy. We're going to trust the 2 young guys. It could end up being Rodrigue between the pipes. It could end up being Markkanen or Tucker Tynan if need be. But we're going to do whatever we have to do. We'll put whatever goalie into the lineup that can get us results. And the AHL as well. They're ready for the playoffs here too. And yeah, for the most part, it's going to be turn it over to the youth and see what they can do. I don't really know how those lines work out the way they do, but hey, we won't ask questions. Do what we got to do. Get the veterans in the bottom 6. And then Trotter, of all people, looks like he'll play on a higher line. Let's do it. Trotter with Niederbach and Beckman. The defense as well, good to go, because Topi Niemela is now one of the highest rated guys because the veterans all fell off. Both teams, I would say, on paper, primed for results. Primed for potential cup runs. The AHL team, if I'm not mistaken, won the Calder Cup last year as it is. But we didn't exactly enter the playoffs on the highest of notes. And now we're in this situation. Now we're in this situation, and I hope we win. That's all I can say. I hope we win.